Hi everyone, this is Jonathan Benz. Wanted to talk to you just for a few minutes about choosing your battles. This actually comes from chapter 17 in Live a Legacy. And in this meditation, I start by saying some sage counsel that my mother gave me growing up, which was choose your battles. She probably had to say it to me a lot because I have always been somewhat of an injustice person. If I saw something that I didn't think was right, I didn't hesitate to talk about it and tell everybody I know and tell the person in question. And probably over the years, I was going to say I've tempered that. I don't know if I've tempered it as much as I have found better ways to express my opinions. And as I reference here in one statement, that knowing how to choose your battles actually allows you to, as it's been said in the past, how to win friends and influence people. So some of this comes down to developing rapport and actually endearing the listener so that they can hear you. If you do decide to confront or challenge or provoke. But one of the things my mom always said was you don't have to fight every battle. And honestly, it's impossible. And so I outline here some simple steps in this chapter about how you can know which battles to choose, which battles not to choose. Oftentimes I say, is it even worth it? There's some battles I just look at and I go, you know what, it's not worth it. The person won't change, the system won't change, and this is not a place where I can affect change. So I think sometimes we have to be really honest in assessing our ability to actually change. I was recently part of a system and I was able to implement some changes. When I saw that I could no longer implement changes in that system, I said, it's time to go. In fact, in my last YouTube broadcast, I think I actually referenced it, and I said, I even prayed, I was like, change me, change the place, or get me out of there. Well, the door opened to leave. And I think sometimes we have to be really honest and look at situations and go, is this a place where I can still be effective, or is this a relationship in which I can still be effective? And if I can I judiciously and diplomatically implement change here? Can I confront the things that need to be confronted and still end up where all parties are a win-win? And I think that's really the goal, is that whenever we are having to confront anything, that everybody leaves feeling like they've won. That takes a lot of personal development of negotiation, communication skills, all of these different things. And I say here, if your setting allows it, follow the spirit of your law instead of the letter of your law. I think sometimes we have really rigid standards, so I've had to really work on in my life following higher operating principles. So if I can't follow a law or a rule or something rigid the way I'd like to, well then what is the principle? Can I still honor the principles in my life without having to be rigid, legalistic, my way's the only way, or your way's the only way, or whatever? There's got to be at some point a way that we can all come together. So it takes some skill in doing that, and I think learning what your principles are and learning what your highest operating principles are and if you can stay true to those, then you probably have done okay. One other thing I want to bring out here is the challenge then is how one applies concrete objective truth to miry subjective trials. Sometimes we think that life is black and white, and I agree there are certain things that are black and white, like thou shalt not murder. I think it's a given. Most societies agree that that's pretty much a universal law. We shouldn't take another person's life. But what do we do with the gray areas? What do we do with things where how do we honor our relationships when we are navigating very murky, gray ethics, I guess? And again, the best way I know how to do that is going back to my principles. What is it that I believe that these are my non-negotiables? These are my non-negotiable principles. And if you feel like you can't honor those in a situation, then you have to figure out where to go from there. I am learning that life is too short to fight every battle, so we need to be honest with ourselves and say, is this something that I can really do? And if it's worth it, and if it's not going to cost you a huge amount, then go for it. But I think if the cost is greater than the reward, then you might want to spend some time meditating on the plausibility and benefit of confronting and doing battle, so to speak, and maybe get some counsel from some other people in your life. And I hope these thoughts have helped you today. Feel free to check out my other broadcast here on YouTube or on my website, jonathanbenz.com. If you're interested in the book is available at Amazon, barnesandnoble.com, and or just send me an email. Thanks for listening. Bye.